Hello there. So welcome and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So thank you so much once again to the e-commerce mastery session. Today we are day 2 of our e-commerce mastery. Today we are discussing about a lot of fundamental aspects and the basic terminologies. Today we'll continue, and we also discuss about some exciting niche where we all of us can start as an e-commerce part, and a few other like about the funnel, etc. we will discuss in detail today. So I believe all of you went through the yesterday notes. I think all of you comfortable, listening now at the moment. Get settled in. As usual, today we have a very tight schedule, a lot of things to discuss. So I'll jump into the presentation, and I wanted to tell you one more thing today. In the beginning part, the major portion which we are discussing today is about to understand the terminologies before we start discussing strategies. Tomorrow onwards, we have so many strategies coming up. So some of the terminology, if you don't understand today, so strategy part, we will have an issue. So that's the reason I would like you to pay 100% attention to understand these terminologies. And any more doubt, anything you come this terminology, please Google it and go to YouTube and understand more about what we discussed yesterday. And yesterday we could not finish because of the time. Today we'll continue that first before we go to the other aspects of it. Okay, so thank you so much. So please get settled in. We will start up. Hi, welcome once again. Today, the 41st day of 100 Digital Mastery Challenge. I'm live from Doha, Qatar on 23rd of August 2020, Sunday. So we are the second day of our e-commerce mastery. So we have 7 days of e-commerce mastery. Today, the day 2, and we are continuing the terminologies we discussed yesterday. And we went with the alphabetical order, so we could not finish yesterday the terminology, so we continue. As I mentioned, this terminology is very important for us to understand. When we run an e-commerce company, or you're a consultant or a trainer, when you're helping others, especially the mentors, you're helping others, this is a very important aspect. And if you're a new person to start with an e-commerce business, or you are doing an affiliate business, in both cases, these terminologies become very important. Now, as you know, that is when we run an affiliate business or e-commerce business, especially in e-commerce business, we have a lot of stock, we have inventory, we invested a lot of money, and we will, we allow a lot of people coming to our website, and we will not have a completely no idea what is happening around. Because if it's a physical store, we know somebody is coming and we can rightly look at why they might have left. Maybe nobody attended, so many things, behavior we understand. But we may not be able to understand from that on from the from the website. So that's the reason we have a lot of tools and analytics method as well. So one of such a thing yesterday, we are about to start discussing, that's the time we end the day. It's called cohort analysis. So it is a very important part because this gives a complete idea. Because you have a website, we do a lot of activities, and where the sales coming, where we are succeeding, where we are failing, we may not be able to understand. So if we understand where we are succeeding, so we'll be able to focus more on that. We are failing, we don't have to waste money on time and energy for that. So that's the reason this cohort analysis become very important part for us to understand and how it works on it. So it's a part of the terminology which I discussed. Now, so basically what is cohort analysis? A group of customers, a common characteristic is they're grouping it as. So then we'll understand. I'll tell you an example, then it's very easy for you to understand. For example, you have 100,000 customers, but you want only the people who shop last 12 months. So that you may consider them as active members, or the people are, or something. You can derive based on that. You want to know, I only want to know the people purchased last 3 weeks, or the purchased last month. So there is a cohort analysis you can use for this part. Now, or you also want to understand the last month who bought it or something, or the customers we came through Facebook, or that somebody trial sign up, like you go to ADM website builder, we have a trial sign up. So we wanted that particular people. Like this way, there's a lot of tools and plugins we can use to have this cohort analysis to understand. So this very important for us to use it and to move forward on it. Okay. Now, what exactly the role of these cohort analysis in our e-commerce? Where we understand what exactly our customers do. and what exactly customers looking into, and how we are converting the leads to customers. So what is the reason they are taking it up? And so that is we can understand, and we can also understand how fast you generated a lead, 1 quarter or 2 quarter you wait, or 1 month or 2 months you wait, or 2 weeks you're waiting. So, and how much the time and average time and the longest time, shortest time, all the things we'll be able to analyze and do it. Okay. And how to, we also understand the customers, we need to hold, okay, this customer I should not lose because it's he's a regular customer and you spend a lot, and you take an extra care for some of the customers. So you maybe have a standard policy, say, 30 days is our money back guarantee. We cannot, you send on a 31st day or a 35th day, I cannot do. That will be your normal answer, a standard answer. But if your regular client has come to you, in the physical world, we know the customer, right? Even they talk to us, they come to the outlet, we know the customer. So we know by looking at them, we recognize the regular customer always comes here. So you take an extra care. But in online cases, most of the time, we may not understand that way. Now your regular customer is asking you this favor. Okay, I forgot to send you within 10 days, but please consider. So sometimes maybe a one-time, first-time customer or a new customer, you may not take it because it may not be your supplier is not doing. Sometimes you might incur a small loss or investment to treat that customer happy. So you might take a decision on that. But we should know who is that customer, right? So that's a reason cohort analysis. Another case, we should know. Then another case of cohort analysis, basically, which products is working better for a specific category of the people. So that's another analysis we should know. So this another method, another thing for us, is very important on an e-commerce companies. Now, you also, for example, this cohort analysis first time I started utilizing, not for e-commerce purpose. Many other online companies, when I used to design a loyalty reward program for various companies, do they really record a loyalty program or not? The first analysis we do cohort analysis. The cohort analysis says it is, they have a average customer spending and the retaining of the customers, and what is their acquisition cost. All this aspect we consider. Then we decide first we go to a loyalty reward program or not. Or even if you are designing a loyalty program, what should be focused, a customer acquisition or a retainership? So that is the thing we take a decision on it. So that's the reason cohort analysis is very important for us to look into, understand it, that we have to utilize it. And especially this gives a lot of insight for us to understand the consumers and to move forward on it. Okay. Now, we also will have a very clear picture about the funnel, but the funnel part I'll discuss with you a bit later. When reach F, we will have a funnel part I'll discuss with you. We'll spend some time on a funnel there because the funnel become very, very important on e-commerce business. So it's also give you, cohort analysis also give you which stage of the funnel you're able to convert and which part of the funnel is more stronger and where it is lacking. And your length, this also discuss with you what is our length. How much time you're taking a person to convert, all the things is a part of that. Okay. So don't forget cohort analysis, very, very important aspect. Okay. Now, everybody say that if a person is not really doing this one, he will not have a long-term success. Even the sudden jump you get on a business and you fail to understand the customer and you will fail to understand the behavior of that. And even your campaign goes wrong. Your retaining the consumers goes away. So it's very, very important to understand and the consumer. And it's a very specifically we understand all the things which you wanted to analyze on a fingertip is get through cohort analysis part. Okay. Now next one is a conversion. This is a very, all of you can understand. So conversion, what we meant is that the person come to our website and converting them to buy the product or pay something, take an action. Okay. There's something called conversion funnel. So we have a funnel in that which portion of the funnel a customer decided to buy the product. You have a long funnel. We'll show you when I mentioned later. Because through a funnel a person go through, and which stage he took a decision, and plus, and how many kind of funnels. There is a entry level funnel, then there is a bigger funnel, then there's a post funnel. Like 3 or 4 funnels we will keep it through to buy these products. So this conversion funnel means is how you convert a process. When this part we'll discuss in detail about when you discuss with the funnel. But there is something called conversion funnel. All of you remember. And conversion funnel is a very important for in the website aspects, especially somebody paying the money. That's through that one. We need to understand the entire process, and you can improve always the process on. Okay. Now. This process actually funnel process I'll discuss with you as I mentioned in the funnel part. Okay. Now there is something called conversion rate. So conversion rate is how many people are coming to your website, how many people are getting converted. You got across the globe we discussed yesterday. There's around 2-3%, right? 2.78% to 3.43% is the conversion rate. Across the globe, and we try for a 5% is amazing. That's a 100% extra support, extra success. But 3% is the conversion, right? So we should not go less than 3%. But sadly there are so many companies not even doing 1%, 0.5%, and wasting a lot of resources, etc. So here we need to do this conversion rate optimization. This is called CRO. So if you ask me, where we have to focus is today through the campaign, through the agencies, through the marketing professionals, any kinds of traffic you want, you pay, you get it. But if you are not doing a conversion rate, a proper optimization, we don't get a result. None of these companies, either Facebook or Google or Microsoft, none of these companies never promises a conversion. They only promises traffic. They give you this many people come to your place. You pay the click, they give you the money. And sign up the money, and all the other affiliate program, also CPA, all the things, they're not assuring any kinds of a conversion. So that is the reason conversion is basically, even though you get a lot of traffic as an owner, as a website business owner or e-commerce owner, it's our duty, our responsibility. So conversion rate optimization portion, if you don't pay attention, we will not get a right customers coming to us. That's the reason conversion rate, CRO, it's in short, is called. And today, the maximum number of research is happening. The maximum thing of processes updated. Many tools is updated, and lot of other procedures and approaches there for a CRO. Plus, there are professionals completely, based on there are professionals who completely focusing on a CRO specialist called CRO specialist. There are a lot of professionals in the world. You can see. So that's very one of the important portion of the e-commerce business owner to do it is. Okay. Now this is basically usually happens based on our website layout, based on a landing page, based on our funnel, and based on our content, based on the design, and based on the tools which you use, and maybe advertisements. All the things is a matter to have a good conversion rate, to increase the conversion rate part. Okay, so this keep in your mind the point CRO, conversion rate optimization. We are going to spend a lot of time on the campaign time. So second portion of the part campaign, we will be spending a lot of time on a CRO. So if you fail on a CRO, basically we don't get a sale. So we need to have a 3 to 5%. It's actually ambitiously I kept a goal of a 5% conversion in the shopping mall especially, but 3% is also fine. 3% is the average standard 2.43. To 3.3. So even if you make a 3%, most of the niches people are able to make $5,000 to $15,000. So that's what is the average 3% a person make it. Look at a $5,000 to $15,000. That's the way the entire pricing and marketing strategies and the campaign is designed. But if you do 5%, it is not just 100% of the profit. So that's important. Why the conversion rate optimization? In the physical world, you think about something. Let's say you have a restaurant. Now, you have 100 customers is coming. So in every customer, you're making a profit, let's say 10%. So every customer is paying for $1,000 and a bill. Now you have 100 customers, 100,000 you come. So 10% of margin profit, you make a $10,000 profit. So you have 100 customers is coming, and 10% of profit you're making. So when you look at it as from this $100,000, you will have a lot of expenditure, which is basically maybe the infrastructure cost, your manpower cost, your power supply cost, your all the cost. Then you have, of course, food expenditure. All the thing comes in. Now the first 100, maybe 80 to 75 to 80 people, you're making a 10% profit, means up to 90% of the customers coming, actually you're not making a profit. So next 10 is comes, you actually make a good profit. So up to 100, that's the standard. Now your conversion rate optimization is by using, increasing your conversion optimization 3 to 10%, you increase that to another level. So instead of you have 100 customer, you start getting additional 5 customer. From this 5 customer, your profit margin is very high. Why? For that additional customer, you're not paying additional rent. You're not paying additional money to the waiters and the chef extra for it. And only the food is a cost. The rest all the standard the same. So that's the reason the next, after your break-even hour, next customers who's coming to your restaurant or your outlet, it is actually you always make a more profit, right? So more profit means is normal customer you're making a 10% profit, but this first for up to 90 you're not making a profit because your fixed cost, your manpower, your rent, your internet charges, your power supply, your food, all the things you have 90%. The expenditure 10% for calculation purpose. I agree, a restaurant will have a much more margin, but I'm just for understanding purpose, I'm putting it this way. So 10% you're making a profit. So that up to 90 customers, you're not making a profit. Next customers, 10 customers, you're making a profit. So now after 100, this 90 to 100, you're making a 10% profit. After 100, your profit will be more than 60-70%, not 10%. Why? Because these customers, we don't have an additional expenditure. If in the restaurant there is a food, that's it, right? If it's services, sometimes nothing will be there. So same logic when you look at it is on an e-commerce website. So if you're working on a 2 to 3%, you will have a 5,000 to 15,000. Depends on your niche. You'll have a margin to make it. Now, if you increase the 3 to 5%, your margin is not just 15,000, not doubling to 30,000. It will do much more because your cost and everything will be almost the same, right? So that's the reason we need to give a lot of importance on increasing the conversion rate. So like SEO, we spend a lot of time. We need to spend a lot of time on a CRO. So SEO, when then traffic comes, if you got a lot of traffic, there's no conversion, there's no use. So one of the most important parts we need to pay attention is the CRO. So never forget CRO's part. Okay. Now, this is when all of you know the cookies we discussed when you discussed the affiliate marketing. So the cookies is actually a kind of a understanding the file, which is the browser save it to make understanding what is the path of that person come and what he has done, right? So this kind of a file, which is very easily affiliate. You have an affiliate program, so you need to have a cookies. So your cookies goes through an affiliate. So affiliate, wherever what is the action he's doing, we'll understand, right? So this is as a part of that. Okay. Now, it is basically used for affiliate marketing and targeting. I think all of you know is what is exactly the purpose of cookies. So those who are not familiar, please look into our affiliate mastery program. We discussed in detail about the cookies part there. Now the cross-selling. So what exactly cross-selling? So in our website, we have an upsell and cross-sell. So upsell, last time we discussed, now the cross-selling. So cross-selling is also an important aspect of the e-commerce, where a seller of additional products, when somebody buys a phone example, you sell the phone cover. Okay, something like that is called a cross-selling. So you buy a phone cover. If somebody bought a phone, you also sell a phone cover to him, and you also give additional accessories to him. So that's called upsell, cross-sell we will do. Okay. Now, customer lifetime value. So this is when you go for a valuation, very important part. So when we flipping the website, this is also an important aspect there. So what exactly CLV? So now average a customer is spending with you in a year based on that there is a forecast. And usually people say 3 years or 5 years a customer should be to be with you, and the CLV is very high. Now, again, that's an important aspect to understand. If you have a good CLV, you have a website valuation also goes up. For example, now usually the companies, when you do a valuation, 5 years, a customer is regularly with you, and they do a good calculation. Actually, that's a very good calculation, very good value we give it. For example, in 5 years, consistently a customer coming to you and spending. Let's say every year a customer is spending $1,000. So 5 years, you spent $5,000. So now each customer, they give a value of a 10% or 20% of that value. That means each customer has a value of a 500. So that means you have 100 customer, 100 into 500, that's your value. So that's an amazing thing. So there are many of the companies gives you. It's an example I'm saying depends on the industry, it changes. If it is, I've seen in a supermarket value, when I was doing a loyalty program, one of the major thing I offered to the people is, why the people should have a loyalty program. Even I've seen it, many of the outlet insist you asking about you have this card or that card or this privileges, you have this membership, etc. So one of the reasons is that not just rewarding, they're making you as a regular customer. The moment you enroll with them, they treat you that you're customer, the customer member. And based on your transaction, they make a value of your customer. And that company's valuation increases more number of people enroll this program. So that's one of the reason, very nicely, very politely, and passively aggressive, they counter people ask you, do you have a Care for app, you have a Mira reward, or you have a privilege cards, or do you use this one? Like the various loyalty program, they insist for you to give. So why are they so interested to give you discount? Why are they so interested to reward you? The reason is they make this for you to use it, and they make a value for you. So now here you are running an e-commerce business. So we need to have a loyalty program. We need to have various measurement apart from loyalty program as well to make a customer lifetime value. So that means the average. So that means you run a business 2-3 years. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Okay. So this is it's called CLV, customer lifetime value. So consistently. So that's the reason retaining a customer become very important. Because the moment, actually the first year a customer, usually they give you only 100% margin. But the moment they complete 3 year or 4 year, they give a huge value. So valuation time, it has a huge value for a customer point of view, you get it. Okay. Then we have something called discount code and promotion code, right? So this one we do, different strategies we discuss about different coupons to give out. So please, okay. So online shoppers use the promo code and coupon code. There is something called discount rate. When you accept a credit cards, they will give you a discount rate for a third party. They'll pass to you a discounted price on it. Now, tomorrow, this is a topic we're going to discuss, is a drop shipping. Without you are involved in directly with the products, so dealing is called drop shipping. So this is a facility called drop shipping. Tomorrow we have detail we are discussing about drop shipping. So I'm not covering much on now. Tomorrow we'll talk about it. And email marketing is a part of the campaigns. You know that by using an email service provider, you provide various campaigns part and use a platform to do a regular triggered mail and outbound mails. As we discussed yesterday, and therefore yesterday, and especially, we discussed so many people, what do you call for that? Use emails for conversion. The conversion was very high, SEO and email and organic search, right? So that's the reason email you never forget, and more number of email database you have, it increases the business on part. Okay. So there's a triggered email, transactional email, there is a promotional email, and reminder mail. So there are so many kinds of emails we have. So we need to utilize that as well. Okay. Now there's something called fulfillment center. So what exactly is fulfillment center? Fulfillment center is actually a place where entire thing happens. So which is, again, we can actually completely do with the others. We can have a receipt. Now receipt go from the bill go from the packing will go, the shipping order will go, and even now the entire logistic information also go. So everything is done by another place. It's called fulfillment centers. We can take support of the fulfillment center to do an e-commerce business. Okay. Now, the payment gateway, which is all of you know, we discussed also yesterday about the this card authorization aspects, various payment gateway with 7 to 8 methods we discussed, right? Okay. Now we are going to discuss something called funnel. Okay. So what is exactly a funnel? So funnel is one of the word you are going to be more familiarized, and you will be thinking even now night about your funnel now, especially to increase your business. So if the moment you start an e-commerce business, one of the things is you make a good funnel. and the strategy of the funnel you discuss. So basically, what exactly the funnel? So funnel here is an online marketing funnel. It's a strategic way of tracking how you're marketing, potential customers to make them a real customer, or potential customer to pay and buy and become a retainer. This is called a funnel. There's a process. So there are different funnels. I just for your familiarization will tell the campaign time we are going to utilize this is in detail. Now, how this funnel has been, you can look at this big image. You can understand various steps are there. Now, when you say to a website is a funnel, a person come to a website, that's a viewing the website, there's a visitor. Then you become a fan follower, maybe through your social media, etc. Then website visitor to content writer, the different way it come directly. So another channel, the funnel come, then he come to reading a content. Then the lead, he become a lead, then become a prospect, then become a customer. Then he become repeat customer, and later he become branded, he promote us. So this is a process. Normally depends on the companies, it changes. But overall, this is a called funnel. If you can fix it, this is properly, our business is done. Because nowadays the traffic is not a deal, but the moment people come to a place, that's a funnel. We need to keep it. Now, traditionally we talk about that awareness. The first step is the people should be aware about it. Then there's a consideration, there is a conversion, then loyalty, there is advocacy. So this is the 5 steps. Traditional market we use it. Now, how do we apply that as an online market? So there's a different tools and to use it. Now you can see that there's something called tofu. Tofu is basically referred as a tofu is referred as a top of the funnel. So what do you do? I'll show you the tools are the top of the funnel you use it. There's something called mofu, that's a middle of the funnel. Then there's something called bottom of the funnel. So it's in a short, it is not it looks very funny, but it's very important. Okay, it's called bofu, mofu, tofu. Okay, remember this one. Now you don't forget your tofu, mofu, bofu, because that is actually a really where your like in a marketing, the sales and marketing team, or you have a retail outlet. The salesman and the cashier, the salesman and the cashier who deal with the customers there, they are the people bofu, mofu, tofu. So you don't have any staff. So these people do our work. The people will come to our website to buy, to avail, to take an action. So that will be the thing. So this is in our campaign time. Definitely we are going to discuss in detail about bofu, mofu, tofu. And there's a bofu content, there's a mofu content, there's a tofu content, there's a tofu tools. I'll show you some of the tools. Okay, there are a few tools I'll show you after some time. So these are very important steps on a campaign, which we should do. And your conversion rate, as I told you about, when we target 3% to 5%, this is the place that play a major role. So it's be done very carefully. So now, usually in the digital marketing, as you know, people get an exposure, then there's the discovery, they understand, okay, this is there, then they just may consider, then we convert them, then put a customer relationship and retaining them. This is a traditional way explained, but actually I believe this is the best one to understand in e-commerce. The various, what are the tools we use it? Now, the top of the funnel you're seeing is SEO and social media. And even Google AdWords, FB ads, Insta promotions, and all the things in the top of the funnel. And there we use all the social media as the top of the funnel tools. Now, then they come to the next word, click-through and bouncers and readers, all the things comes in. There is a landing page optimization, very important, what kind of a page he came, what he saw it is. Then marketing content, article content, blog content, the content he read about, description of the product has become important. Then our website optimization, it's part of a MOFO. Now, what exactly bofu, bottom of the funnel? Repeated mails to him based on what, so we can use a MailChimp. We can also Infusionsoft, which one of the things which we use. And Marketo, this is another company recently you saw, you might have read the $1 billion deal. So Marketo is a company with a conversion rate. People started giving a huge importance to this one. Okay. And you can also see the bottom of the funnel, again, social media manager play a major role. So this is a structure of the funnel. And so remember this word, because I've not kept it separately, these words, because actually when I reach as a B, it's a bofu. So you definitely ask what is bofu. And then M it's also. So I put an alphabetical order to one place about the funnel. So I want you to start thinking about and start studying about and start looking into the funnel part. And that is the most important aspect of a conversion. So funnel, how best your funnel you worked on. See, product adding, all the things many of the staff members, your team members will be able to do. But the funnel, you need to really, really think about it. So funnel is very important. So never forget bofu, tofu, content part and structure in a website when you make on it. Okay, now, so there's a growth hacking is an approach. This is an approach we are also utilizing our championship. I believe all of you know the championship, right? After we complete 100 days of program, we have a 30 days of a program where we do all the people who are starting a business website or a YouTube channel. We are planning to do a championship of $100, $250, $500, $1,000. That means every day that kind of a thing. That's a growth hacking. It is basically, that's an approach in the marketing approach. It's a hybrid analytics, not traditional marketing. So we also use the same way. And it's actually a planned effort. It's not completely organic, but it's a kind of an approach. It's a very common approach nowadays. It's called growth hacking. So that exactly we do after 30 days. I would like all of you to be part of that growth hacking. We call them as a championship, inform as ADM champion. It's a part of our branding as well. Okay, so we will do that. Okay. Now, so if you also start studying out growth hacking, that's one of the things why growth hacking is very important is, that a business is all about an aggressive entrepreneurship. And this aggressive entrepreneurship comes from enthusiasm and excitement. Now, when you start a business as a human being, depends upon your character, 3 months, 6 months is 1 year, you have that excitement and energy is there. So that's exactly the time you may not be able to get the business. So what do? You lose the business. And you get demotivated. When you demotivated, again your business will be down. Then you see it's not working. Then you give up. So that is a human nature. Once you are not having motivation, when you are not having energy, and automatically the attention will reduce, the focus will lose, and we will put in a less effort to do it. So that's the reason. So growth hacking was very important on an initial stage of business. People should get, things are working. You remember that we discussed with the tractions. So similarly, you may get traction in such a short period and do that one. Okay, so this is it's called a growth hacking part. Okay, now, next one is actually we go to the inventory. Inventory is a retail, e-commerce. The people keep the products and the stock, and that's called inventory part. All right. Now, of course, keyword stuffing. All of you know, you're stuffing more number of keywords in your part of SEO, which we discussed, and which is it's not a wasteful time. Okay. Now, landing page, where various products, various services, you have different landing page, people to come and attract and to increase to the conversions, putting into the funnel. So landing page is important part. Okay. Now, this is a place people land and understand about the products. So different campaign, you can have a different landing page. In fact, actually, every time when you do campaign, whether it's a Microsoft or a Google or any other major agency you go, also they'll ask you to create a separate landing page for various campaigns. Okay. And next one is a listing fee. So some of the online companies or different companies usually charge you for listing some price. So especially what do you call for that? Once you list, maybe your size of the listing or the pages, they charge you some money. Some companies will not charge. Sometimes they'll allow you as a freemium. You list it, then they'll convert. Okay, so this is called a listing fee. So many people, when you go and list into, especially in the some of the classified, some of the directories, some of the marketplaces, they'll ask you this money. Now we are going to use a word called margin. All of you know what is a margin. So profit, how much you are making. That's a margin, right? Then we have merchant account provider, where you wanted to start an online business and do. This is called merchant account. So they'll give you merchant account where your credit card payment goes. Now mobile commerce, whatever you do in e-commerce on a mobile, it's called mobile commerce. Open rate, number of email, especially if it's a case, number of email subscribers who really open your email on. Okay. Now, we also use a word called outsourcing, right? So something you are giving to someone else to do for you, a third party doing from different part of the world or a different part of the places, or maybe in the same city to another person is doing, called outsourcing. Now, there is one thing called, when you source the product, there's called a partial shipment. Partial shipment is, most of the time when you place an order, entire shipment is not allowed. Most of the manufacturers do something called a partial shipment, because sometimes maybe production part, sometimes the maybe your immediate requirement. Sometimes one kind of a quantity come through one other channel, another quantity come through another channel. So called partial shipment. You place an order, but in there, for example, you place for 1,000 pieces, they send you only 500. It's called a partial shipment, as the name indicate. And path length. So this path length is actually, of those who know the Google Analytics is, so we study this a lot. Now it's how much time a consumer is taking to become a customer, or maybe a right word is a visitor. How much time a visitor taking to become a customer? So how many times he's coming back and checking, and he log in today, and today he did not sign up. He did sign up 3 months later, 6 months later, maybe one month later, maybe 1 hour later. So it depends on the website you have. They take a different time for this decision. What you call decision to become a consumer. It means decision to buy. So this is it's called path length. This is in a technical term. The marketing term is more precisely how much is your path length. So when you go for a campaign, they'll ask you what's your path length, and you say 1 week, you get 10 days. Some people say 1 month. So you have an average path length of the your total number of customers. So please remember this word. Don't forget when you're going for a campaign, path length. Okay, yeah. Now, payment card industry, there's a PCI compliance, where you can accept the cards, credit card process. This is called PCI. Now, there are different payment service providers who give you Mastercard, Visa, American Express, PayPal, all these things called a payment service provider, right? There is a PPC, pay-per-click, which I'm again, every click you pay and get it done. Okay. Now, POS, what is a POS? Points of sale. So we are discussing the blockchain part, a lot of POS. I'm not talking about that POS. I'm talking about POS machine where you see when the shop has a POS system. Now, when you start, you already have a shop and you're planning to start an e-commerce business. So this process, become actually mixed, online and offline. You have it. So it's very important. You can, if you understand more about online offline, Shopify Plus has a special module on a POS-based billing system. And in fact, actually one of the best one. If you ask me, Shopify Plus, I like it because of the system. And a merchant wanted to start his own e-commerce business, then I would recommend that Shopify Plus is a good one. It's slightly expensive because it has more features, more module. It's not like other packages. So this is an example of a POS system. And recurring payment, that's one of the things is actually very important. The recurring payments is basically you get what do you call that? Every month there is every month they pay. So this is called recurring payment. Recurring payment is basically they avail a service and every month they pay you, right? This is called recurring payment. So it's as long as they use, especially the SaaS model, every month we have some money to come from the consumer. That's called a recurring payment. Okay. Now, something called search engine optimization. All of you know what does SEO stand for. And shipping details. You know what is shipping, right? So when the people ask you what is the shipping details, can you give me? So where we shipped the product to another consumer, it's called shipping part. Okay. Shopping cart, all of you know e-commerce. What is a shopping cart? Okay. Now SKU, sure, that's a very important part. So with this, we are going to discuss about the e-commerce part. SKU is something called stock keeping unit. So this will be usually alphanumeric identification code for each product or a service we identify. This is called SKU. So in e-commerce module, automatically the SKU will be there where you can use an alphanumeric tracking number for products. Now, all of you know the Google we said time lag. Now, as we discussed, the Pathfind, it's the same way. The Google Analytics uses something called time lag. How much time is it taking? Like almost similar like a path long. Okay, path long is basically a marketing campaign. Google Analytics talk about time lag. Okay. Now, transactional, when you're putting a credit card and happening a transaction is called, then there's something called 10-key solution. 10 keys refer to usually a software ready to start, okay, ready to operate. You don't have to go for many other process. Now, already customization done, preparation done, you can ready to start. It's called 10-key solutions, okay. Now, traditional type of e-commerce business and e-commerce business, there are a few things to consider, okay. Now, you wanted to deliver various products. Now, what are the method we use? So tomorrow we are going to discuss in detail about the dropship method. But today, so please understand the delivery mechanism. I'm not saying the courier going. I'm talking about the different way product somebody bought from your website and reaching to it, there is a huge process goes. So that is very, very important. So like an example, like if you think is your online business is like a car and your delivery mechanism like an engine. So without engine, you cannot actually run the business, right? So run the car. Similarly, here it's very important to have this delivery mechanism. So you can utilize various methods. Now, usually direct to consumer, you do all the things. You take an order, you have inventory, you stock the products, and you pack it, you send to them various logistic arrangement. So one method. And second method is basically white label and private label, which we discussed in detail in the first week. White label, what is that? Private label. So you actually label it as a products and other, under your brand, or you can also get it under your own name, the product. So this is another way of your sourcing your products. Now, so white label is the service or a product you get under your brand, the products to promote on. Then there's a method on wholesaling, right? So you source from wholesaling or you act as a wholesaling. This is another method of delivering. You can go for a B2C model. It's another method. Now, so in the B2B usually referred as this part. And drop shipping is basically what exactly drop shipping. You don't want to deal with the product, but you use a drop shipper. You have only a soft copy of your product. You don't have an inventory. You receive a product, orders, and you process the order through a drop shipper. So you are not even touching a product stock, and you're not even investing in stock. Someone else is sending. This is called drop shipping. So tomorrow we are going to spend a lot of time on a drop shipping, and there are many people actually already requested me to do a drop shipping. That I was telling that in e-commerce mastery we'll cover drop shipping and drop service. So tomorrow the day we'll be covering on more about drop shipping. So please do. Anyone who's asked you about drop shipping, the COVID-19 one of the big trend is us actually about the drop shipping part, right? Okay, so drop shipping is doing great. So we wanted to go there. Okay, and it is in the e-commerce segment. Of course, the drop shipping is one of the growing segment, and many companies are doing a fantastic thing on. Okay, basically you use third-party supplier like AliExpress has a good dropship arrangement, and the Printful is also doing a great dropship arrangement. So you can actually browse and understand is more about how they do it. Okay, and it's basically a middleman activities, right, to deliver the products and sourcing the product to show to people. Okay. Now another thing is a subscription service. Subscription service is basically you on various services you against the subscription you give it. Now there are different companies even give you a subscription service. You for some time your course, you're doing a tutorials, everything you charge them on a subscription basis, and they give you a complete subscription module to us. And then you also deliver the products to the people on a subscription model, and a subscription box is a new concept in the e-commerce, which we discuss in detail when we discuss other aspects. Subscription box. Yeah. So with this, with major terminologies, we are ending here. There are so much of things, but I only put into the way directly connected to our businesses directly. Okay. Now, when you look at it is the terminology is one spot. If you don't get into that, every business also we discuss as a niche talking, niche language, and every terminology has e-commerce also. So these are the terminologies. Now with these terminologies, if you can actually looking at as now to the videos or YouTube or go to Google and get to understand more about it, and to master about the e-commerce aspects. Now the campaign time or after the business setup or the championship time is very important to have this is in place. Okay, so now we move on to the various niche of the e-commerce niche. So now we discussed about the affiliate niche, slightly different from e-commerce and affiliate niche. Affiliate niches we derive based on affiliate commissions. E-commerce niche is two things, three things actually I defined. I'll discuss with you that. And I'm going to reveal to you some of the good niche, which is if you wanted to block it, if it's available, you can actually block it for various countries, even our online shopping mall. This list I never majorly discussed with you because there's a category. I added a few more things because now because of COVID-19 time, many of the suppliers were not responding. Now they started responding. So around 20 to 30 major niche, which is going to add in a more number of products. I actually listed out. So please do note down. And if any questions, please ask me in the mastermind time. Okay. Now, those who now here is a niche. When you look at the e-commerce, now affiliate people actually usually immediately get convinced about the niche, because that's where it is. Affiliates, all the affiliate sites set up. But in e-commerce, very difficult for the people to understand why should we go for a niche, because most of the companies you are familiar with, they're not niche oriented. That's exactly the point, because the competition, there are many people. So we'll discuss that. So here, those who are not really keen about social, niche, please go back to the niche, my training which we did and understand about it. Now, here it's actually in e-commerce niche, we have a few things we need to slightly different, we have to make it. And I'll tell you an example also. Now, one is actually based on a pricing, you can have a niche, like a premium. You only sell a premium products, luxury products, and a very branded product like Armani or a Louis Vuitton, or maybe Chanel or Versace. All these kinds of products, or a Tiffany and Co. This kind of a product only you sell it. That is kind of a premium. Can be in a luxury items as well. Okay, and maybe some like a dollar store. Maybe everything is at $10. That also can be a niche. So based on a pricing, you can have a niche on e-commerce. So different pricing, No, there is actually a niche. Is actually I like the niches. $10 only gifting for a $10 gift is a niche, and he made a $10. So people who wanted to send a small gift of $10. So he's only focused on that. That's why it can be a niche as well. So pricing can be one of the important aspects. Then demographic based, you can have a niche, like a personal characteristics, like age group, gender group, income group. Also, you can have a different niche. Now, psychographic based, you can have it like a similar to demographics, as you know, but it's important. Their principles and the religious belief and attitudes. Based on that, basically, we can also have a niche to be formed. Then, of course, geographical, location based, particular, weather based, climate based, season based. We can have another niche aspect. So it's a very important, all of you, even giving an important niche is in the part of e-commerce. And people do succeed in the niche store than the normal store. That's the major part is the evident part. You've seen it, the people start with the limited resources, not with the multi-brand outlet, they become successful. They with a niche store. That's the important aspect. Okay, so it's in general store, if you think about it, it's very difficult to handle, very difficult to invest, very difficult to deal with people. But online store, it's become very easy to do it, to handle if you go for a simple niche. Now, can you just think about why the niche is important on a e-commerce space? So many people ask, affiliate we understand because you are looking for a keyword based, but whether you're affiliate or whether you're on an e-commerce website, so traffic system is almost the same to get traffic, right? So my first answer to you is a competition. So it's you are dealing with a limited resource with a huge companies, and they also have product, and they have they also coming through all the campaign. They also have an SEO. They also social media. So how you differentiate yourself? That's the reason e-commerce also niche become important. And it is now very focused, and you such a small or a little resource you spend and make more from the market. And your existing time, effort, energy, everything can be more optimized. Okay, so that is the most important aspect of the niche. I know some of you still not get confused. My idea is you start a niche store, then you expand later. If you want to start another one, the same store or additional store, you can always start, right? But the niche focus, it's reach you faster success, immediate success, and all the things happen so faster. Okay. Now, how do we choose a niche? So first is day 2. The second day itself, we discuss about the various kinds of niche and how to choose, and 18 steps of choosing the niche examples, drawbacks, all the things we discuss. Now, more specifically about e-commerce niche, we'll discuss about specifically about e-commerce niche. Now, first is definitely you need to choose a niche with the SEO in mind, because as we discussed yesterday and therefore yesterday, The niche is basically, how do I say, get a conversion from SEO. From the result coming from the niche, result coming from the SEO, you have a better conversion. Normally, the international standard for the conversion is 2.43 to 3.48, which is much higher on SEO. It's a 14%, more than 10% is more, right? So, and plus it's a less investment compared to other campaign. So that's the reason definitely SEO will be in mind. But like a long tail, it's not necessary. Even you can go for broadband, or it depends, you are going for a geo-based niche. For example, you are doing something based in Dubai or based in London or this in Singapore. So you can have a local SEO based programs to do with a single tail with a geo location, like pharmacy in Singapore, or weight loss products in Singapore. Like that, you can actually have a keyword as well. So important was definitely the search volume play a major role here. So it is different kinds of products, monthly search volume, how much it is coming, and where actually wedding dresses and vintage wedding dresses. So different things, you get a different search volume. Based on a search volume and competition, you need to take a decision like any other role. But in affiliate marketing, I always, strategy wise, I always spoke about a long tail. But in the e-commerce, not necessary you target for a long tail. You can even go for a broad match and do it. Okay. Now, there are a few things, why niche marketing and general marketing, where the difference. In a general marketing, when you look at it as a customer interest, target so many people, and with no specific interest. So there are so many people coming and get in touch with us and asking us so much of things. The niche market, we target a small group of people, but they buy a specific product and service. So here, actually, basically, you don't want so many people to come. You want the people to come and buy the products, right? So that's the reason niche market. You have less number of customers, but you have more number of conversion. So now, when you general market, when you say 1,000 people coming, you are not maintaining a 1% of the conversion rate. So basically, you are hardly getting 10 people out of the 1,000. Now, in the niche market, you are only 100 people coming, but you have a 15% of the conversion. So more than 15 people are buying from you. The good thing about it is the 1,000 people come into your website, you already have a cost on it. You need to deal with them. You also have a technological requirement for that. But here, nothing. So this is the advantage of the niche marketing aspect. Okay. Now, conversion rate optimization, which we discussed about, same thing in a general. When you look at it as niche, it's very easy to optimization because you are targeting a set of consumers. A particular customers. So easy for us to promote the content, easy to use the tools, easy to use the social media platforms, easy to use the different kind of a process as well. Now, for example, now you are targeting maybe to everyone. Then you have a 60-year-old professional is coming. You have a 40-year-old housewife is coming. You have a 20-year-old student is coming. Now another businessman of 55 years of coming, and different ethnicity people coming. So all the places your website look messy, and they really don't understand what to each one of the person look and different. Now let's say you are only targeting a teenage girl to buy kind of accessories. So how the website layout look like, your content, your image, your social media. So you may not go and spend a lot of time on a LinkedIn to do that one. You may go to Pinterest and Facebook and YouTube to spend the time. So that's the reason niche market makes a lot of sense for us to focus on something. So it will be a low conversion rate if it's general marketing, a lot of number of leads comes, and we will feel very bad. So many people are coming, we are not able to convert. That will be an issue. Now, niche marketing, you'll not have that many lead coming, but good conversion you'll have. Now, your broad keywords is used for a general market, and you cannot basically rank it, and you don't get a conversion, and you don't get a business. Other one, you can use a long tail, or you can also target the broad match and do it. So it is that's a way you need to differentiate and understand about, even for e-commerce perspective, how the niche work on it. Now we discuss about pros and cons of selling the niche. So one is actually when you go for we'll start with the pros of selling a niche. Why we should go for niche base. One is a completely optimized product selection. We know what the product we are dealing with. In the niche store, one store will have thousands of product, but we know what category. Like if, like say, you take it as a accessories, like a home decor, you know what it's dealing with, or you take about phone accessories, or you take it as shoes, that what very much specified product you're using, and you also have a very optimized pricing. So based on your niche audience, based on your products, you know what the range of price you have, and you can actually focus and you can fix the margin. You even can do promotion, etc. And it's a branding part. Your communication is very clear. So your creative part is you don't get confused. In a broader audiences, branding is one of the toughest thing. So that's the reason simple brand management is for a niche audience. And your content also, specifically your target audience, you're clear. Who's your customer? Who's clear? What's the product you're talking about is very clear. So your content can be very optimized and intuitive. And you will be able to make a sense with the community which you are dealing with. And you can actually relate and connect with them. And so you can actually, an online marketing aspect, you will have a lot of advantage compared to other markets. And most of the companies across the globe you go, even you register a domain, the first thing in the marketing campaign, the people come to you, what's your niche? Even you approach a company first to start an online part. So they will be asking about your niche audience. Okay, so it will be instead of a broad, it's a very specific. Everybody appreciate and easy to target, easy to fix it, easy to succeed. Okay, now. When this is an important thing, you may not be thinking about this, storage aspects on online digital storage also. You have so many customers who's coming in, query coming in, so you always see spaces and everything goes up, and including a product storage goes up. So it's a less compared to, it will be less in a niche compared to other generic one. And again, the campaign. So you have broad keywords, or you have a lot of audience, your campaign become more expensive. So that there is actually another thing called CBO, campaign budget optimization goes wrong, because you'll not be able to optimize properly your campaign because you are looking for so many people to come to you. So there's another drawback. So where you go spend a lot of money, so finally eventually you become loss making. So you say your campaign is not profitable because it's not optimized that way. Now, what is actually a drawback, the cons of selling niche products? Of course, you should have a real understanding of the target groups, because then only you'll be able to relate that. And limiting, we really feel we are limiting only to that product. I agree with that feeling, but actually, ultimately, how much money you're making and how fast we are making, how soon you are making is important. But we ourselves will buy only have to do. So that's the limitation. We think about it. Okay. Then actually, sometimes that niche you succeed. If not succeed, you don't have another product to play around, right? That's the reason you have multiple website and multiple product. So you miss it. But actually, the possibility of you're succeeding in the niche is more than the e-commerce. But of course, this is one of the challenge we address even for a niche store. Now, how do we find this perfect niche? So this, and especially on an e-commerce perspective, when you look at. Now, we need to make the first, though, as other niche audience, as we find out on the YouTube niche, we also discovered the affiliate niche. Now we are discovering e-commerce niche. Now, in the e-commerce niche, we need to really think about the competitors and the customers. And based on this, we need to think about finalizing the niche aspect. Now, like any other rule of a niche, like a passion, hobbies, everything is considered here. And he also, mostly importantly, connection to the market demand. And what is the market demand? That's the most important part. So this we discussed in a day 2 in detail. So I'm not covering more, but that's the step you have to go. Now, once you've decided the niche, so how do you source these products? So normally, how do we get these products? As we discussed earlier, the sourcing the different. So one of the biggest headache of sourcing a product, and you have to go to suppliers, you have to go to warehouse, you have to go to manufacturers, different thing. And the shortcut is actually we discussed with you. That is one is wholesale. So those who are selling in wholesale, you can do a deal, you can go and pick it up, and they'll deliver it to you. or maybe you go to a B2B portals like Alibaba and get the products done. So that's one method sourcing the products. And second one is actually subscription box. So you can have people to deliver to your place on a monthly basis or annually basis or a yearly basis, or a bi-weekly basis. They give you a subscription box. Okay. Then of course a private level and white label. Again, this is a private label and white label. Day 2 we discussed in detail about it. Now there's a retail arbitrage. Arbitrage I'm talking day after tomorrow in detail. So some places you can see a good price, you buy from there and sell it in another market. It's also arbitrage. For example, you can see so many people in the Middle East bring a product from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India and sell it in the Middle East market. Because there is cheap, here we are selling. So that's based on arbitrage people do online business. Of course, the drop shipping, as we just discussed tomorrow, we are going to discuss in detail. There is another method, artisans, we'll discuss in detail on it because it's through artists, we'll take it on. And then there's another thing called second-hand products you're selling on it. Now, when you source all this product, there are a few things we need to check later. First is you think about the demand. If this product which I'm going to invest, is there a demand? Online, you have to check it. Offline as well. The people are going to buy or not. Especially when we are going to invest a huge money from outside for products and inventory. That's one of the major criteria we should do. Now, secondly, actually, we have a huge market there. As I always told you about it last time, the examples. Instead of you like the product, the most important thing is what market wanted. That's an important part to bring it. Now, once the market is there, is it profitable to deal with that product? There are so many companies, good turnover they make that actually don't make a profit. So think about the profitable or not, how much percentage you make. That's another thing you have to do. Now, the product supply, that's the biggest challenge for an e-commerce company to run. The supplier reliability. So especially you have marketplace or you're sourcing a product from market locally, that's a big challenge. So if you ask me in that one, one of the major concern I also feel, that's the reason most of you ask, can I put your product through your platform? And I say no, because the supplier part, we have made a very strong decision. People are experienced in e-commerce. People have an infrastructure for e-commerce. They also have fulfillment centers in e-commerce. We only take from them because the consumer side is the most important. The consumer feel we are not supplying the product, we are not delivering the product in time, it's going to have an issue. Okay. So supplier reliability is a big challenge. If you start an e-commerce, before you are sending a money to any manufacturers, any supplier, any distributors, any CNF agencies, double and triple check it. And make sure that is Tamil promise you get it or not. All the things is a very, very important aspect, especially when you deal with individually. This portion I'll discuss with you when we discuss the advantage of the niche store online shopping mall in detail. Now, is there a competition? Usually, yes. There's no competition. Usually, people are happy. No. If no competition, also problem. Because no competition means that that's sometimes, not always, sometimes the product market has no potential. Many people tried and failed. It's not a profitable, and sometimes market demand is not there. So it should not be 100% happy if you don't have a competition. Competition is record according to me. There's a competition record that make the product more awareness in the market. And, it's a lot of advantages there. When you Google it on the advantages of the competition, you get a lot of examples, competition actually record. So, but too much of competition and we cannot fight and win, that's also a problem. Okay. Now, you also think of USP point of view. Why should shoppers buy from you? That's one of the things you need to consider on it. Okay. Now, so all the things once you consider now, then you can choose the niche and source the product and start in detail. So tomorrow we are going to discuss along the broad mesh the drop shipping. We also discuss the little website features. Now we jump into the another portion of the portion. As I promised, I'll give you good. Many people ask me many times, you coming out and asking about the niche to start with, which niche. So few of the part of the like and affiliate on YouTube, I share with you the potential niche. I'll share with you the potential niche and which you can rank with an SEO. That's what I'm going to discuss. So I would recommend you to open a new page in your book and take the list of this niche and start doing a research on it. Then finalize it. And this niche is so very important and profitable niche, and good product range also come. So it's not applicable for affiliate niche. It's applicable for e-commerce niche. you know the difference, because may not be and all the strategy which you make an affiliate may not be applicable for this niche. So I'm telling you this. That's the reason I put the word in the e-commerce niche. Okay. Now, of course, as we discussed the first day, fashion is doing a great, right? It's a fantastic thing. There are 65% of the people online is already buying some kind of thing. So in the fashion, it's a huge number of product you can see, more than 100 kinds of product you can see. So in that, the best is handbags. That's one of the best things people are buying very often online and bestwear. Okay, and belt buckles. It's another thing people buy online, and belts. So these are good niche in that. And collar clips. Okay, and a lot of other small accessories also good in the fashion. If you only focus on that, get a great result on it. Okay. Now, healthcare, as we yesterday someone asked the question in the mastermind, healthcare is always evergreen, as I mentioned. Even affiliate, I mentioned it is there. YouTube, I mentioned it is there. E-commerce niche is also there. Now, OTC product, like over-the-counter products, when you go to pharmacy, when you go to chemist, when you go to medical shops, or maybe some time in the other shops as well, you get our diabetic aids. The number of diabetic patients across the globe keep increasing, and they have it looking for a lot of things, right? So there are a lot of things, OTC products, one of the best thing, and across the globe people buy online. So this one. The second one is the ear care products. So many ear care products is, it's a good potential, is there less competition and huge search volume is there, and it's a good niche, ear care products. Then of course, feminine care, hygiene products is also, again, people started sourcing a lot online, and people are keep buying on different products. So this is a very good niche to start with. Then jewelry part, as you know, jewelry. Earlier people were not buying online. Now people start buying online, but certain segment, they may not buy 100,000 or 10,000 things immediately, unless then other large site, etc. But average of $500 to $1,000 of a spent is very common online now. Like engagement ring, most of the time people buy it online. And engagement and wedding ring set is a good one, and wedding and anniversary bands that's a very good niche, because that's the time you're sure about people are spending money. And this specialized that niche, you can have a different communication and different facilities and delivery time and packaging and all the things. And bridal wedding party jewelry is another thing, and fashion anklets it's also a part of the jewelry part. Okay. Now, as we discussed yesterday, men's are buying more of online, and various dresses of the men's, like a men's casual dress, men's dress, shirts as well, and t-shirts, and blazers and sports coat, and also athletic and apparel. So this is a niche. Is basically, you can take it as a good one. Even actually, this is good for even affiliate. When it was there in the affiliate as well, and it works on the e-commerce as well. Okay. Now, shoes. That is people buy a lot of shoes. In that, baby shoes is the most often people buy, because that's keep the 3-4 years now, it's keep change in a growth stage. So that's they buy more shoes. So that is actually more often, and especially baby boy shoes and girl shoes. Of course, the women shoes are doing is a great thing online. So one of the things you can start is actually shoes. And watches. I think I mentioned to you, first time I started as a drop ship is actually wristwatches. The reason I was started a wristwatches online is because it's a market potential and the kind of a monthly search volume it has. So I used to, but I'll tell you tomorrow. I think I'll tell you what the drop shipping and drawback, which is actually in detail. But actually, I used to get a very good sales. In a week, I used to sell around 100 plus watches. Very good sale in a week's time. Right now, there are around 400 to 500 watches. So fantastic sale, and I used to make around 15% of margin, and with an average of price range around 30,000 to 50,000, and I've been 500 to around $800 range. Because that was it's a good one, and it's a drop shipping. You're not even touching. But I'll tell you, people buy repeatedly, and people buy 2, 3. I don't know. I never thought people buy watch like that, and people really buy, gifting, and it's a good thing. And now a lot of modern watches also come. Like people, a lot of technology-based watches also doing good, and the pocket watches are a good gift to people are giving. So this again, if you're starting a dropship, wristwatches I recommend. Of course, e-commerce, dropship you are doing in e-commerce, so it's a good one. It's a wristwatches. Even you get a good sales even today. Okay. And now in the electronics, people say, can I start electronics? In that segment, you have good niches at the web bike, monoculars and binoculars. You can use it. And telescopes is one of the things people when they say buying very often. And accessories for that, people buying. It's a binocular, it's a good niche, and nowadays people buy a lot on this aspect. Okay. Now, gaming, which is we discussed in affiliate, and we discussed even YouTube, and here also. Game is actually, again, the people spend a lot of money and time, and there is an issue where the people will be obsessed with games, and they don't mind swiping the card for many things immediately. And impulse purchase will be there. They don't look for pricing. Immediately I want to now, they want to buy now. Okay. So you can even downloadable products you can do, like a strategy guides and cheats. This is very important for games. So you can also have downloadable products in the games as well. Okay. Now another category is which we have a kids and baby. That is again huge number of products are there, and people do buy it as like various things, and a few things like baby jeans and play mats and activities and a swimming suit, and all the things in the baby segment is really work well. Now bedding. So bedding is a good niche in a B2B as well as a B2C, and the B2B I've seen it is now is doing a great on about the and the bedding aspects. So people do buy this is very often, and people are, like many other concerns. Even the people don't even buy other dresses online. They buy bedding part. Okay. So in the clothes segment and part, they're not comfortable also because they say I want to try, etc. But this didn't bother. So it's initial stage when the rebirth of the e-commerce happened in 2010, 12. One of the things was done well is a bedding aspect. Okay. Now the furniture, there are Urban Ladder, and there are a few sites like Pepper Fry. All this is gives a good furniture and list, but they are furniture is a huge part, and Walmart and that IKEA. All these companies also doing furniture aspect. But you can actually, I did a one furniture as an affiliate program. And I found that people do buy, very often. It's called Ottoman chair. I don't know, Ottoman chair. It was one of the hotels when I went for a weekend. They had a Ottoman chair, so comfortable to sit and stretch a leg, and you can keep it. You Google it. It's called Ottoman chair, and when I searched, and I noticed it's a huge search volume. So that's the reason I started. It's a good one. Okay, so. Similarly, you can actually think about a different furniture, a specific one like a stool or a bean bag, or all the things is a good niche. Okay, start with. And a home decor, that is people spend a lot of money and they immediately buy sometime. Impulse purchase, something is missing, something. Like a decoration basket or somebody new guest is coming in, just immediately they want to buy a few things on it. All the things, there are so many things, people keep it in at home, all the things can be there. Okay. Now it's a home decor, again, it's a good niche to start with an e-commerce. Now home improvement is, again, nowadays everybody is, adding something more to their apartment or their villa. So maybe sometimes a necessary thing is not just a, decoration part, it's an improvement part. They wanted to maybe security products or maybe electrical products. So this is also a good one. Okay. Now, household and cleaning supplies is another good niche to start with, and the quantity of the things. Many of the companies started doing a subscription box also this every month. So if you're planning to do subscription box, it's easy for you to do this niche. This is not household and cleaning supplies. This is not for it. Okay. And pet supplies, again, a subscription. This is again a subscription box on the pet supplies, and to the pets rated thing, they actually whether it is a bird or a fish or a other cat or a dog, there are different supplies and different brands, and regular people consume regularly and they buy regularly. That's a good different supplies you can do apart from the products. Now, different tool like what is required at home, like like a flashlight, or maybe generators, small generators, or a garden air tools. All the things is also a tool for it. Tools, small tools people immediately to buy. So people have forgot. Oh, now sometime you're fixing. That's the demo. I realize it's actually broken. It is missing now. At home. How So immediately people go on a site and buy tools, and that's again a good niche to start with an e-commerce part. And gardening part, again, it's a good niche. When you look at the less search volume, less competition, can see good search volume. So yard and garden, you can actually start another niche for you to start with. Now, boxing and martial arts, especially into the European market, is doing great. And various training equipment and supplies, and various weapons. And sometimes most of the things is not available in the easily market, and you cannot get in the local market. So the people usually buy online, and and they buy more often as well various products. So this is a good niche to start with. And cycling part, bicycle accessories. Now, when you look at the bicycles part, now this is completely an industry is completely evolved. When you say bicycle, we normally think about the normal bicycle, but now this has completely changed the scenario. So when I went to one of the exhibitions, actually I tried out the new web. There is a cycles in the bag you can carry, put into the car easily. The folded one, $100, $200. You get a good, amazing cycle with electric cycle. So electric cycle, again, hybrid cycle. So an example I tell you, this is actually a source for one of the companies and B2B. They sent me to the exhibitions to deal with them. So I was so amazed. People are looking at me. There is a the exhibition. I was trying the cycle. So I was so impressed and excited about using that cycle, because so easy when the electrical and hybrid ones. You can actually do normal cycling, but it is accelerated with electric. And again, you are doing that electric, like a dynamo, it just increases. It's an awesome thing. So so in the cycling today, when you look at it, there's huge market for different age group, and these kind of a cycle, hybrid cycle and portable cycle and electric cycle, and you wanted to have a motorized one, and it is amazing varieties. So not just like what we see outside. This is it's much more than that. And a lot of innovation happened in the cycling part. And it's also more, the people also saying it's coming with the AI, it's coming with Wi-Fi, it's coming with the IoT. Cycle also connected with so many other things. And you're also, your energy part, your calorie burning, and the communication and the GPS, all the things is, it's making a completely different level. Okay, so that's the reason you have a lot of components and parts, and repeatedly people buy and sell it, buy and throw it out. Okay, and there are maintenance tools. There is a thing, and of course, as I mentioned, a lot of electronics items also clubbed with the cycling now. Okay. Now, this actually e-commerce part and affiliate time I discussed with you the fishing. One person is making every year is more than $1 million just with the fishing rod as an affiliate marketing. You think about it, if a person is making through an affiliate program more than $1 million in a year, what kind of a market is there? Now, of course, in the fishing part is lot many products we can do. And especially in an e-product or a digital product or a downloadable products, about the books and videos and fishing equipments. The books and videos and training materials. So downloadable products people do it is, and these are many of the people. 70 to 75% of the people do for hobbies, the fishing, and only professionals also buy it is. But actually, that's a different niche. So here is a fishing part. We should have a two separate niche. The professionals who go and do business buys, they'll go and make money with the fishing. So that's a different niche altogether. So that's one of the thing in the keyword part also you have to do. When I did an SEO keyword research training, my teacher actually example gave me was the phishing keywords, because now phishing keywords is, for a machine or a Google look like almost the same, but actually two different segments, right? So when you look at the fishing part, the people go professionally to the sea or a river or a lake and do fishing in a different way, and the people do for hobby is completely different way, and two different components, two different consumer, and the consumer behavior is completely, the psychographic and demographics is a completely different for both categories. So when you go for a fishing part, so we need to consider that as a keyword is a very important. You can actually choose for affiliate, you can also choose for e-commerce, but in the keyword you need to personally look into all the keyword and very intelligently look and then search and understand how Google is thinking about and how the people are using and which kind of people are using. Here, if the keyword is a really good keyword, but you need to psychographic and demographic, you really judge here, on a fishing keywords aspects. Now, fitness and running, as you know, this is people spend a lot of money nowadays, and at home people start doing a lot of cardio equipments and clothing accessories, fitness running, all the things you can, plus your DVDs, and there's a software, there's an application, there's a books, and fitness and running is the maximum number of ebooks also people buy, even the videos people buy, and people also learn about the very exercise and few methods they think about to get rid of lot many issues. So this is a very good one to do to the e-commerce niche. Now we discussed about the fashion, slightly different from a woman's clothing part. Fashion part, again like a fishing, what we discussed about it. Here, there are different segment actually when you go for, especially for a drop ship, when you go fashion and women's clothing is a two different segment you can see, and different kind of a sourcing also you can see. Even keywords also has a different. I think it's a thin difference, like we discussed about the fishing part. Now, a fashion oriented, as you know, in the retail segment, the fashion oriented clothes is different, and normal clothing is different, and so there's a different pricing and different approach. So maybe sometime we also buy in a fashion oriented, but that's clothing is slightly different. Hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. So it is on a price wise is a huge difference, and even quantity wise is different. Even frequency is actually different, and the decision making process also different. So this is again there actually in the women's clothing, the funnel one. When you look at it, is a different funnel. The fashion funnels are different, and women's clothing different funnels. So bofu content and mofu tofu content will be different for the women's clothing and the fashion one. So there's a major difference, but both are a good niche to start with. Okay. Now this golf we discussed about affiliate is it's also a good niche, and there are so many people buy a lot of equipments and accessories on golf, and it's actually they spend, and your product margin is very high. If you're starting at drop shipping, golf is a good one because you have a good margin, and you get a lot of varieties of the things, and you have a good keyword as well. And this one I strongly recommend it. I hope you remember that when I discussed affiliate mastery, golf was on a top level. I started with, I believe, golf was the first thing which I recommended, because there is a huge sales happening, huge commissions people are getting, huge affiliates are there. So of course, affiliate definitely is one. And why the companies are able to give that kind of commissions and that kind of a margin they have, that is right. They have a 25%, 30% affiliate commission they're giving. You can see the kind of margin they're making, right? So even you go to drop shipping websites, golf gives you a lot many product variation and good margin product as well. Okay. Now hunting, as we discussed, hunting also for affiliate also good margin. You get it again here also. You have good products and a different thing like a fishing they buy. So hunting products also people buy for hobbies, and even or real other one also they're buying on it. And there are tour packages for hunting you can promote as an affiliate as well. And even not only affiliate, you can actually promote as a comes under travel, but if you start as a hunting, you can actually promote a package. It was one of a unique affiliate program which I came across, and a good commission you used to get. That's actually from Mozambique, uh, which is actually a package. Hunting packages, which actually many of the people, of course, the target audience was US. You can get a package, even you can go and hunt lion. So, in the government decide sometime they want to control the wild animals, and they will come out of the package of hunting, different animals, and they're not just killing. So they sell us a package. Countries sell us a package. This year we are killing 4, they're killing 10, they're killing 7. So this is given us as actually a package as a, you can go directly. There are people who are crazy about it. And they give this is through promoted through affiliate program. And now they used to give a 30% commissions and 35%. Even they have a CPA program. You can say hunting, Mozambique hunting tour package as affiliate program. You can see a good affiliate program which they design, and they used to promote through affiliate program for hunting. Of course, most of the target audience, of course, North America. So people buy these packages, on a hunting, and you don't get this opportunity. Everywhere the PETA comes and make an issue, and nowadays nobody's usually, most of the wild animal is protected. You don't get this opportunity to do, and the people who hunting was one of the hobbies since ancient period of the human being, and this is controlled, that oppressed. This many people cannot do, and now the bone. Many people has that passion, and they buy this kind of a package and go. And now, if you're starting hunting related affiliate program or even hunting related e-commerce, you can also get these affiliate programs, adding to your e-commerce website and promoting, because it's unique, because no one else is doing. Okay. So this very few countries this opportunity is there. Okay. Now clothing, shoes, and accessories, of the hunting is a separate. So it comes into this niche is different. When you go to hunting, there's a different kind of shoes, right? So this is another good niche to start for the e-commerce part. And indoor games, I think one website is, I forgot the name of the website. They had around $100,000 sales every month on an indoor golf. Indoor golf, just a small living room, you can do a golf part, and it tastes that one. So various games like billiards, ping pong, and so many things are there. People buy online to suddenly there's another impulse purchase. They hey, I want to buy this one now. We'll buy online. So that they've seen it as one of the report I read about that article about the indoor golf. It's made a good a good sale there, because they're saying most of the time they have an impulse purchase. The length, path length is very less, as we discussed, very less. They buy immediately. 10 minutes, 7 minutes, they buy the products, and and they come back and gain more. So it's a good niche to have it on. Okay. Now outdoor game, of course, various equipments. That is, many of the equipments will not be locally available to the different part of the world, and people buy that as and different, and especially sometimes when they're going for a picnic, they just buy and then leave it. Then again, they buy the same customer. So you can see a repeated customer is giving a different orders on it. Get that one. Okay. Now, team sports is another good things to start with, and that's a good difference. So even though it comes under sports, you can see different niches. Indoor sports, outdoor sports, separate niches. And e-commerce, especially, the keywords are completely different, and sales strategy is different. Of course, the funnel has to be different, and it will be completely different mindset of the people. Even though some people maybe customers for both. If I'm going for with a picnic for outdoor sports when they're buying, and the team sports and buying, it will be completely looking in a different way, right? Okay, so this one. Okay, so this is also a good niche for an e-commerce business. Then tennis, as you know, the one other thing is which is people spend a lot of money, and especially the tennis accessories and tennis apparel. And it's interestingly, not only the tennis players buy, and many people buy. Other people also buy that one and use it. And the rackets is actually so many. The people said that is recently they had a more online sales, than the offline market. They call it the tennis that way. Okay, so tennis bracelets is also a good niche on it. Now, So this water sports, is, as I mentioned like earlier, now one of the product sourcing expo when I went, one is actually cycle I noticed. Same way I noticed was the water sports. And now water sports is a wide range of products, and with a high margin. That's a good thing. Water sports has a very high margin, and there's a new brand, new techniques, and new innovative products that came out, and it is when they for the various activities they with connected with the what do you call with a technology base. Earlier this segment was not really connected with the technology. Now you can remote control, you have it as, and you can utilize for inside the water area something was not allowed to use it, so it to do down all the thing. Now scuba diving has a huge variety of products, and the scuba and snorkeling one, they sell multiple things. So one is a physical product, they sell digital products, and they also select courses, they also give a certification, they also give a video training, and all the things, and give that one. And they also give you certification called PADI, or those who know scuba, get a certification. And online, certificate, of course, we have to go for offline training, but actually they enroll it as online. And then they say as a kit, that's a good thing about the scuba diving. So you enroll, you buy an equipment, and they also recommend us, the places to go depends on location, and even the fees is paid. So basically, you're getting as a package. You're buying all the things. I'll give you this package. Or if you went for a online, I want to enroll, it's where I can enroll. Then you say, would you like to have this product? And you're going for a PADI course, PADI certification. So scuba equipments, which is minimum level. There is some people actually, large scale also buy on it, and B2B is also doing a great in the and the scuba diving aspect of it. Okay, so this actually one of the things which I'm convinced, like a cycle part I told you. If you ask me, one of the, I think a few favorite one which I put in hold, especially in OSM also. One is actually cycling part. Now I think I have some pictures I did not share with you. That is I was so surprised to see innovations in the cycling. Same thing I'm also to see, because cycling I'm not a big fan, but actually childhood we had a cycle. I had a cycle, so I used to see that the innovations, and especially in the new innovation they brought in. In the water sports, actually, as you know, I'm a fan on it. So when I look into the variety of the things, is of course this Chinese brought it on the so many things, and there's a Canadian company is doing amazing business, and they raised a cap around $150 million on an e-commerce part, e-commerce site. They raised the capital on a water sports product alone. So it's a very good potential. If you are passionate about water sports, if you like water sports, I strongly recommend you to start anything on a water sports related niche. And if you have it, you must be familiar with it. You should be able to talk about that language. Now, when you're going for a scuba or a snorkeling, the consumers are different. Here, I made one website for this one, scuba diving and products. And there is a wide range of products. They're on very good margin, and you have a drop shipping, and you can actually do in a large scale part as well. Of course, we also have a OSM also kept a very good niche on this one. One of the niche which is, as I mentioned, I kept it for a favorite one is a water sports niche. Now, yoga and pilates, which is again it was there in the an affiliate we discussed about it, and that number of people practicing or doing the yoga has increased like anything, especially last 5 to 10 years. Now, I discussed earlier, the people say the moment they heard about yoga, they had to pack it and go to India and do. Not nowadays, not that. So many companies and organizations franchised the yoga centers and yoga instructors and yoga masters. And people say a joke in US, every Indian become a yoga master as a part-time job easily. The moment you have an Indian, you have an advantages of you're an Indian yoga. So many people are going home. Individual trainings are there, group training is there. So many people practices nowadays yoga, and it comes with a special requirement of so many things. and people buy more often. And this most of the yoga prices, in my affiliate part, I discussed, people buy products online, and but you should know about it, and many things. That is there's this very specifically. Sometimes you should have a product. For example, a maternity period. That's a time most of the women practice a yoga. So that's the time they need a couple of three kinds of dresses they buy actually, especially in the end of the 7, 8, 9 months. They have a separate dress for a yoga to do it, and people to buy that one. So like this, thing, and plus they also have something called the people do sun bath and what you call. In the morning they do something, and there's in the beach they use a different mat. It's not the same mat which is used in indoor do. So there is another mat for it. So in the beach, in the park, to use is a different one, and with this with an nature. So like this, there are a few specified one, and it is easy to ship it. Another good thing, and the people buy more often. And there are a lot of things on, lot of accessories also yoga based, which is will do it. Okay, now. There is there's another thing is action figures. It is animals and designers things. Comic books, heroes. This actually people spend a lot of money. I think especially the new generations, and they buy more often again, and something come out of the market and do. And especially one of the things through social media, one of the easy sales and the conversion conversion rate is very high on action figures. People do which is buying. And it's a very high margin of these products, and there are a lot of drop shippers also for this, and it is the people who buy die-hard fan and they don't bother spending that kind of money. So this is one of the things which they encourage. Okay, so these are the major niche which is we wanted to share with you, and there are a few more which I'll share with you someday in detail. So thank you so much, all of you, for paying attention and going through and understanding about this. And we will tomorrow we discuss in detail about this one, drop shipping. So tomorrow we are discussing about today we discuss one of the methods as a drop shipping. Tomorrow we discuss about the drop shipping, how it works, and there are so many people requested also earlier. So you can that we'll spend a lot of time on that one. Okay. So thank you so much, all of you, and go through and research. Start doing a research about niches which I give you, and even those who are planning to block or buy stores from the niche store from online shopping mall. Many people have reached out to me, suggest me some niche. I was not replying much. This is an answer. But actually, the thing is, I didn't public, so you need to block it. You have to block it faster, or do a research, and you can see all this terminology which I give you. I think it is in each one. I put some keywords. Again, that's a broad match keyword. You type it in Google, and you get a lot of varieties. You also go to the related keywords on that, then you get more products on it. Okay. Now, thanks again. So we'll end now, and a couple of minutes from now, I'll join in the mastermind and take the Q&A there. And those who are not joining, so tomorrow definitely we'll have a drop shipping in a very good session. Actually, many people are excited about it. And tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we're going to do a drop service. So tomorrow will be drop shipping, and day after tomorrow we'll do drop service. So major aspect of the e-commerce, which we never discussed, these two things and discuss. And many people already complained it into me. Drop service we delayed. Of course, the drop service which we scheduled earlier for a e-commerce YouTube mastery period, so then postponed it. Now in this week we'll cover that as well. Okay, so thank you so much once again to all of you, and I'll join you in the mastermind short while from now. Thank you so much.